Here's another ethical practice. I'm going to do it a little differently today. First, I'm going to inform you what the scenario is. Then I'm going to give my response, just voicing it. And then I'm going to give my response in ASL. So, this is the scenario. It's called Sticky Fingers, and it's from the Encounters with Reality book. It says, you are interpreting a home economics class, and the group is making taffy. You stick your fingers in the bowl for a taste, and now it's all over your hands. Your fingers keep sticking together. You can't fingerspell, much less interpret. Okay, starting timer. Alright. First of all, the problem is you are unable to, as an interpreter, effectively interpret, because with sticky fingers, you are not able to not only fingerspell, but also make different hand shapes easily because your fingers are sticking together. They're always like this when if you'll need them like this or like this, it'll be harder. So, in a sense, the problem is you're not able to effectively interpret. The people that your decision influence are yourself, the deaf consumer, as well as the other hearing people participating in his home economic class. The ethical scenario is well, I think the problem is you need to be able to effectively interpret, and that is the guideline for all interpreters, that you need to make sure you know the situation, if there's any needs in the area or with consumers or setup or whatever, that you need to address that with someone and inform them. If the communication is not being met, maybe we can do this to fix it. So right now the interpreter is having a personal demand of, I have a demand. There's something that's interfering with being able to effectively interpret. So that's kind of like the guideline of, if there's something interfering with interpreting, something needs to be done about that. Other resources that would be good to reference in concern with this scenario is, in a sense, the guideline that you always need to do to the best of your ability. That's just kind of underlying rule, that you do the best of your ability in everything. So if something is getting in the way, then that needs to be addressed so that you can do your job effectively. What I would do in response, there are three things I could do. First, I could try to lick my fingers and kind of try to get the sticky stuff off. Kind of quickly, effectively take care of the problem-ish and then keep on interpreting. I could also kind of interrupt the speaker or presenter and say, could you hold on for just one moment? My fingers are sticky and I need to clean them in order to interpret effectively. And go wash your hands and come back really quick. Or I just, could try my best and keep plowing away, maybe hoping that with my movement of fingers and hands and everything that they might become unsticky. What I would do if that was my situation, I would actually choose to interrupt the presenter, respectfully and everything like that, but kind of interrupt them and say, you know what, I'm sorry, there's a need for the interpreter to wash their hands, as the interpreting is challenging right now as I don't have clean hands. That would influence me short term, in that it might be a little embarrassing, because here's the interpreter who's supposed to be professional, and here they are, they're kind of interrupting a class. So that's a little embarrassing. However, in the long term, that is a very good choice, because then I, as the interpreter, am able to effectively interpret for this deaf consumer, not having any hindrances of sticky fingers or getting frustrated at my sticky fingers. So long term, it would be very beneficial to do that. For the deaf person, the short-term effect could be, let's say, I inform the speaker, hello, I'm sorry, I need to go wash my hands. The speaker for a moment might actually decide to continue to speak. They might be like, okay, go wash your hands. But they might continue to give a presentation. So for a short moment, the deaf consumer might not get complete full access to everything. But long term, they would be able to understand me clearer. The audience, short term, it might throw them off that the interpreter needs to do something and might kind of disrupt the class a little bit. But long term, I think they would also help them become aware of the importance in realizing interpreters have certain needs and certain needs to be done to be an effective interpreter, and maybe have more respect for interpreters. Okay. And now I will sign it like I would for the NIC interview. Hang on, please. Wait, please.